Hello everyone, and welcome back to mountmoontcg. For today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some cards in the upcoming set Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes. Now, this is set to be released January 30th, so hopefully the day that this video comes out. But we're not going to look at every single card. I'm just going to, normally I do a top 10 video, but this time around, I feel like I'm just going to kind of look at a few cards that might be a little bit interesting. See if they might be good in the future or not. What that card, what kind of deck it could go into, things in that nature. So no top 10 video this time around. Trying something a little bit different. So hopefully you guys like this format a little bit better. If not, I'll probably go back to top 10 for next set when it comes out. So this is going to be mostly a reprint set. There are a few brand new cards in this set. Not a whole lot though, which is a little bit disappointing. But a lot of cards that might be a little bit harder to get, like the Psyduck with the damp ability, is going to be in this set, so you have something to look forward to. No longer have to pay like $10 or $15 for that card if you really want it. Now it's going to be a little bit cheaper, hopefully. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of these cards here. First off, before I start this, I know there's been a little bit of confusion as to what cards are in this set or not. And one of them, which I think is the best card. Now, it's on this new website I'm using called PokemonProxies.com. Go check them out if you want to see what's going to be in this upcoming set or the set after this. We'll take a look. It's Pokepad right here, which is listed on this website under Perfect Order, which is going to be the set afterwards, which releases on March 27th. It's not listed on Ascended Heroes, which I find odd because I think a lot of people are saying it's in Ascended Heroes, but I'm not 100% sure. So take this next thing I say with a grain of salt. Not 100% sure. But yeah, Pokepad, it's search your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is a really good card. We are going to be losing cards like Nest Ball when rotation hits. I'll have a video about rotation coming up hopefully in the near future, so stick around for that. But this is a really good card. I think when we kind of go after rotation, there's going to be a whole lot of single prize decks that are going to be really, really good. And of course, there's still a Mega Evolution Pokemon that, they still take up 3 prize cards. So if you have a bunch of these single prize Pokemon that can two-shot these Mega Evolution Pokemon, you're trading 2 prize cards for 3 prize cards, and you're winning the prize trade every single time. And Pokepad is going to help out a lot of these decks, these single prize decks. Also really good for decks like Dragapult EX, because you have a lot of non-rulebox Pokemon. You got your Dreepies, your Cloaks, your Munkidori, your Haluchas, your Dusknoir line, stuff like that. As long as you're not playing a really, really EX heavy deck, this card should be a must in said deck. So again, not sure if this card is in the Ascended Heroes or not, but I thought I'd cover it nonetheless, since a lot of people feel like it's going to be in this set. All right, so we're going to go down the line. 227 cards total in this set. It does comprise of Mega Dream, the Japanese set, and it also compiles of these starter decks. So a lot of these cards in the starter decks aren't the greatest, but there's a few of them that we'll cover. Spoiler, there's Erica's Vileplume that will be coming up. All right, start from the top. And, okay, let's start with this Silcoon here with Cascading Cocoons. That's not how you spell when you play this card to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may use this ability, search your deck for a Cascoon or Silcoon, put it onto your bench, shuffle your deck. Now, of course, this is only really good if the evolutions of Silcoon and Cascoon are really good. There's Beautifly. It has Energy Straw, which is 80 times. Your opponent reveals their hand. This attack does 80 times the number of energy cards you find there. this is kind of an unknown attack because you never know how many energy your opponent's going to have in their hand. Now, obviously, if they have a bigger hand size, odds are there's going to be more energy cards there. But the fact you never know how many energy cards they have in their hand, it's not the greatest attack. I mean, the worst case scenario, you know what your opponent's hand is, and you can prepare for future turns. So, Beautifly is not the greatest. The Silcoon's not, or Cascoon, sorry. Cascoon's not that great. Dust attacks could be a little bit interesting. Rustling Wind. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, return an energy attached to your Pokemon, attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. This is really good if you want to set up multiple Dust Talks. And of course, we still have Force of Vitality. So you can get multiple Dust Talks and hopefully get rid of a bunch of energy on your opponent's active Pokemon. And then 100 opponent's active Pokemon with Poison and Sleep. It's alright. There's this Numel Incandescent Body for those Mega Camerupt decks that I do see for some fringe play at leagues. Pokemon's in the active spot takes damage from attacks from opponent's Pokemon. The attacking Pokemon is now burned. It's okay. I mean, it's better than not having an ability, I guess. All right. One of the big megas from the set is going to be Mega Frostlass EX. For 1 energy, Rebellion 50 times the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Now, if your opponent has something like six cards in hand, which I think is pretty standard, like something about 5 to 6 cards in hand, that's about 250 to 300 damage. And there's also a way that we can force our opponent to have more cards in their hand, and I'll bring that up in 1 second. But yeah, it's a stage 1 Mega. It evolves from the Snowruns. Frostlass does see play in Monkey Dory decks with the Marnie's Grimmsnarl and things like that. So I've been seeing a lot of decks running like 1 copy, just to, you know, get that big KO when they really, really need it. So this is probably the best Mega, I believe, in this set. Seeing some play in Japan, pretty darn good. The Frostmoss here. It's got Inviting Wings. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active spot, you may use this ability. Each player draws a card. So, this draws your opponent 1 card. You draw a card. It helps you twice over, actually. You get to draw a card and get more resources in your hand. It does give your opponent a card, but as we discussed with the Mega Frostlass, you're doing an extra 50 damage. Yeah, the only downside with that, the Frostmoth, is it's got to be in the active spot. We still have cards like Air Balloon. I believe there's still going to be Switch. There's a couple of ways where you can get the Frostmoth out of the active onto the bench. You can maybe use this ability maybe twice, so you can come and clean up with this Mega Frostlass. Alright, we got more. We got Ends Vanillux, Ends Vanillite, and stuff like that. Not really too interested here. Stunfisk, 30. Your defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. During your next turn, the defending Pokemon takes 100 more damage from attacks. Could be a good stalling card. Alright. I'm not excited about Mega Electros at all. For 2, it does 60 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Like, okay, that's not terrible. And then for 3, Disaster Shock 190, you may discard 2 lightning energy from this Pokemon. If you do, your opponent's like the Pokemon's now paralyzed. I mean, I guess, but I mean, either attack I don't feel like it's enough to warrant running Mega Electros. It's a stage 2 Mega. I don't know. I don't get great vibes from that card at all. Heliolisk maybe. Might be okay. Tapu Koko, first flight. You may use this attack in your first turn. Discard your hand, draw 5. Carmine. Not too bad. Keep that in mind. That can be seen in a couple of decks. Let's see. Rocket's Executor. Yeah. I mean, it's only interesting. Flip 3 coins, fall over heads, knock out one of your opponent's Pokemon. I mean, it's only going to work like, what, 33% of the time? Or no, less. Hold on, flip 3 coins, 50, 50, 25. No, it's like 13%. 13%, I believe. If I do my math correctly. It's like 13% of the time that attack's going to work. Not worth it, in my opinion. Rotom, for those of you that are Rotom fans, Rotocall, search your deck for as many cards with Rotom in their name as you like and place them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. It's really good if you're playing that all Rotom's deck. Could help with something like that. Pretty neat. Hops Trevenant, I've been hearing a lot of people talk trash about Hops Trevenant, but I think it's a little bit better than a lot of people let on. Horror Revenge, 30 plus during your opponent's last turn. If any of your Hops Pokemon are knocked out by damage from an attack, this attack does 100 more damage. I mean, you would run this in an all Hops deck. I mean, we still got Hops Zacian, Hops Snorlax, stuff like that. And, you know, Hops Choice Band, you got Postwick, you got other stuff to help build up attack, to boost your attacks for your Hops Pokemon. You got the Choice Belt or Choice Band, whatever it is. I always confuse them. The Postwick, the Snorlax. So, I mean, that's 90 damage right there. So, 100, 130 plus 90, that's 220. I mean, you're knocking out a Pheasantipity. So, there's something there. There is something there. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I think it could be an interesting helper for that deck. Spectrier, it's going to be good for Gardevoir, but right before it rotates out. The second attack Phantom Beat, discard all energy attached to this Pokemon, place 12 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So, this is an effective attack, so it's not damage. So if anything's on your opponent's bench that says it can't be effective on damage, well, Phantom Beat can go through that because this is an effect. Damage counters is very different from damage. So if your opponent's blocking damage, well, you're doing damage counters. This will be good for the 2 months before Gardevoir rotates. After that, I don't think this card will ever see play ever again. Rocket's Dugtrio. Whenever your opponent's Pokemon moves from the bench to the active during their turn, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. It's meh. It's a little meh. Mega Halucha has strong body. When this Pokemon is knocked out from damage from an attack with the coin of heads, this Pokemon is not knocked out and its remaining HP becomes 10 instead. The ability sounds really, really good until you realize we have cards like Frostlass in the format right now, which, yeah, even if it would have been knocked out, you got 10. Frostlass would knock itself between turns, so it's not that great. We still got Monkey Dory too, so you can just place damage counters on it and just have it get knocked out straight away. Not a big fan of that. The Somersault Dive 120, if there's a Stadium card in play, does 140 more damage. Discard that Stadium. Very reminiscent of the Primal Groudon that we had back in like 2015 that did well at Worlds. Pretty interesting. Okie dokie, 80 plus, 60 more damage for each prize card your opponent took during their last turn. Could be alright, I guess. I don't know what it would be seen playing. Really excited for this Rocket's Honchkrow here. Rocket's Feathers 60 times. Discard a number of supporter cards with Team Rocket in their name from your hand. This attack does 60 damage for each card discarded in this way. Now, I believe there are 5 different Team Rockets supporter cards. There is, Proton, Ariana, Giovanni, Petrel, and Archer. So yeah, there's 5 different Team Rockets supporter cards, and if you play 4 of each, you got 20 different supporter cards. Supporter cards to work with 60 times. You really just need to discard, what, 4? 5? Hold on. 60, 120, 240. 5 is 300. 6 is 360. And that should knock out most things. And of course, you still got, tools to increase damage if you want. You can still use the A-Spec to do a few more damage to EXs. Yeah, there's a few things to help boost damage outside of just discarding the supporter cards. Pretty decent. I like Rocket's Honchkrow. I think the Rocket stacks with the Spidops is going to see a whole lot of play, especially after rotation. It's going to get better after rotation. Great single prize deck, in my opinion. A lot going for it. Watch out for Rocket's Honchkrow. The Galarian Obstagoon seems interesting as well. Scar Shot 70 times. 70 times the number of damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. You really just need like 4 or 5 damage counters on a Pokemon, and this Scar Shot can do a whole lot of damage for 2 energy. It can power up very quickly with Toxtricity if you really want to. Crispin or something like that. It's a dark and a colorless, so pretty easy to get going, and it is a stage 1. It's not a stage 2, it's a stage 1, so keep that in mind. Mega Scrafty is very interesting with Counter Cowl. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, when it takes damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, place 5 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Pair this up with Punk Helmet. The opponent takes, I think, 4 damage counters from Punk Helmet, so 9 damage counters if they attack into you. And then Outlaw Leg 160, choose a random card from your opponent's hand and discard it. And discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Could be paired up very nicely with the Unfair Stamp. Get them down to a low hand size. Outlaw Leg, discard a top card from their deck, and discard 1 card in their hand. Be a good way to get your opponent stuck. So Mega Scrafty could be interesting, and you can power it up with Toxtricity as well. Okay, Petulant. If it's knocked out from damage from an attack, search your deck for a card, put it into your hand. It could be interesting in a stall deck. Alright. The King Gambit. Attacks used by this Pokemon deal 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has taken. And then 180 does 50 to itself. So, I mean, if your opponent's taken, let's say, 5 prize cards, 5 times 30 is 150 plus the 180. That would be 330. So this could take a big knockout right at the end when you really need it. Alright, we're going to talk about the Mega Dragonite here with Sky Transport. Once during your turn, you may use this ability, switch your active Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. So pretty good, kind of like a Russian kind of ability like Keldeo had. And then for 3 energy, 330, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. A great partner with this would be the Electric, where you can Dynamotor, but you got to get it somehow back onto the bench after you attack with it. I think that's where Sky Transport comes in. You Sky Transport back into the bench and you bring up a free retreater like, I don't know, Latias. And then you just Dynamotor, retreat, there you go. Interesting to see if this would be better than the Mega Manectric. We'll wait and see. A great helper with that is the Dragonair, obviously, that you need to evolve to Dragonite. Evolution Guidance. Once during your turn, you may use this ability. If this Pokemon has any energy attached to it, search your deck for 1 evolution Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. A great way to get your Mega Dragonite. Rayquaza. It's your typical from the bench to the active, do more damage. Fun. And Zekrom. This is going to be a huge part in N's decks going forward. I think Zoroark is another deck that's going to get a heck of a lot better after rotation. It has Shred, does 70 damage, can hit through, is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it can hit through like those Crustals and stuff like that, where EXs can't hit it, because Zoroark can copy your N's Pokemon on the bench. And then Rampaging Thunder, 250 damage, can attack during your next turn, but there's going to be a lot of times where copying the Reshiram when you don't have enough damage counters on your Zoroark is not going to be enough. Otherwise, it's 170. 250 is a heck of a lot better than 170. Yeah, doing more damage is usually pretty good. It's going to help this deck a lot. Alright. Light Ball. The attacks of Pikachu EX, this Pokemon tool is attached to do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. Pikachu EX caps at 300. Light Ball, 350. Makes Pikachu EX a little bit better, hopefully knocking out some Mega Pokemon along the way. A Thick Scales, the Dragon Pokemon this card is attached to, takes 50 less damage from attacks from opponents' Grass, Fire, Water, and Electric Pokemon. Kind of a little bit of a niche card. Canary could maybe help out these electric decks a little bit. Discard 1 card from your hand to use this card. Search your deck for up to 4 lightning Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. Can help maybe keep electric decks alive after rotation, because you're losing Miraidon, you're losing Iron Hands. You do keep your own, the Mega Manectric, the electric, Dynamotor Electric, excuse me, and then you still got Magneton that you can still work with. So this can maybe help make electric decks relevant after rotation. Literally, if you have different ends Pokemon in play, you take 3 extra prize cards if you knock something out. It's not good. It's not good. Don't play this card. Night Mine. Attacks used by each Terra Pokemon in play. Both yours and your opponent's cost 1 colorless more. This could be really good to go against Dragapult decks. This kind of forces Dragapult to play more stadium cards. If not, maybe play the Crispins again. More energy. This kind of messes with those Dragapult decks a little bit. So now they got to compensate for Night Mine because that could really hurt them. That could really hurt them. Might need to play some more stadiums. Alright, so that's most of the cards you need to worry about. I might have missed a couple of them, but at least these are the ones I'm kind of like meh to kind of excited about. So if you want to look more at the set more, a little bit closer, go to PokemonProxies.com. They don't pay me to advertise. I just figure, hey, I watch a video and it's somebody going through cards on a website and they don't say what website it is, and that annoys me because then I have to find it. Because I saw somebody use this website and I didn't know what it was. But now I'm telling all you guys, PokemonProxies.com. Alright, the Erica's deck seems kind of interesting. You got the Erica's Vileplume. Once during a turn, may heal 30 damage for each from Pokemon. It's okay. And then Power Bloom 160. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and asleep. Meh. I think the Victory Bell is a little bit better than the Vileplume. The attack does 40 damage for each Erica's Pokemon you have in play. So if you have your 6 Erica's Pokemon in play, you are doing, hold on, I can do math here. 240? Right? 40, 80, 160, 200, 240. Yep, 240, I can do math. 240 for 2 energy, not awful actually on a stage 1 Pokemon. You need to get all the Erica's Pokemon in play, but that's actually easier said than done, because we do have Erica's Tangela. Gathering of Blossoms. Once during a turn, you may use this ability, search your deck for an Erica's Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. So you could Erica's Tangela, Gathering Blossoms, to get another Erica's Tangela, Gathering of Blossoms, for another Erica's Tangela, Gathering of Blossoms, another Erica's Tangela, Gathering of Blossoms, another, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. You kind of get the picture. And then your next turn, if you have like 3 of them in play and you got the Force of Vitality, just go on and get your 3 pieces for Erica's Victory Bell, and then you'll be good to go. And there you go. Seems pretty easy. If you want to put Erica's Vileplume in, you can. I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's just going to be a Victory Bell Tangela deck. Mega Meganium. This is a very interesting Mega. It's seeing a little bit of play in Japan. Giant Bouquet, 70 plus. The attack does 50 more damage for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon. The obvious pair is the regular Meganium that doubles each grass energy in play. 1 grass energy equals 2 grass energy. So that's easy. 2 attachments for of energy, and you're doing 2 energy, which would count as 4, which would be 200 plus the 70 is 270 damage for 2 energy. You know, not awful. Then you attach another energy, that's 370. Pretty darn good. Mega Meganium, pretty darn good. Mega Charizard Y has Explosion Y. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 280 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Could be a good bench sniper. After rotation, Charizard EX is gone. So we'll have Mega Charizard Y. Compare with Chi-Yu. Not Chi-Yu, Oricorio. I don't know why I always call Oricorio EX Chi-Yu. I don't know why. But the Oricorio puts more fire energy in play if you have a Mega. Can maybe work a Mega Charizard Y into that Charizard X deck. Bad. Don't play it. Mega Feraligatr X, on the other hand, Mortal Crunch 200 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 200 more damage. There's a lot of way you can get damage counters on your opponent's side of the field. You could play the Frostlass. You could play something like Monkey Dory. I don't know if you ever would, with Darkness Energy to remove damage counters. There's stadium cards that put damage counters in play. You could play Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. There's a whole lot of different ways to get damage counters on your opponent's side of the field to hopefully make Mega Feraligatr work. The energy cost might be a little bit too much. We'll wait and see. But yeah, you're pretty much one-shotting everything that doesn't have a Hero's Cape attached to it. All right. Yeah, a lot of these EXs I'm not really thrilled for, like Regice. I saw Regice was going to be in the set and I got excited.